kick. Jackson bobbles it and now has to try and recover. Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding? Deshaun Jackson still not in, and now in for the touchdown. No flags. Unbelievable. No time left. Eagles win.
No, I don't. Just play football.
We got to be on the same page because they're not beating us. We're beating ourselves. I swear to God.
Yeah. But the big thing is what we can't do is get frustrated and stop talking to one another.
I got you.
Keep talking to one another, man, and clean it up. That's all.
Get on the fumble. Keep your head up on the tackle. And let's go. Come on, man. Let's go. You're a better player than that.
Today, another edition of Let's Talk Battle Rap. I'm actually really excited to crack open today's playbook because we don't often see cards in battle rap where everything is judged and money's on the line. And as always, for every playbook, we have on the phone Coach Bad Money.
As always, what's going on, man?
Welcome to the show, my brother. Shouts to Program V, just taking care of some business, so we hold it down for him today. But I'm going to predict his picks because I think I know him well enough to know who he would pick. But let's get rolling, man. So we're here to talk about the Combat Battle League.
Close Combat Battle.
Yeah, Close Combat Battle League. Wow, I haven't seen a judge card this year since Pearly Gates 2, really. A judge card with money on the line. And shouts to Champion, J Black, Tech 9, and Jaz the Rapper, who will be the judges for this entire event. Before even breaking on the card, who's on the card as a whole, what were your first thoughts when you first seen the event?
I looked at it and saw it was money on the line, and it was dope, you know what I mean? Because you would think these battlers probably go into this event with a different, sense of writing, and pretty much a different approach to things because nobody's trying to walk out of there with the pockets empty. You know what I mean? So I'm not really going to judge battles all the time, but I think it's necessary sometimes, you know what I mean, just for certain reasons, especially when you just want to bet your own money.
I agree, man. I love judge battles. I love when there's a decision for things. I get it. People don't want battle rap to be judged, but it was born. Battle rap was birthed being judged with a winner and a loser. We can't have everything debatable for the rest of our lives. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The event Money Talks. So the Money Talks playbook is very suiting for the entire card. Let's read out the headliners, and then we'll just pop the randomizer in, and we'll talk about it, man. We got the headliner of this card, Danger Zone and New Jersey Twork, New Jerusalem. It's the co-headliner, Born and Chilla Jones, and Mr. Mills and Payne. I'm excited, man. I like this card a lot, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I do too, man. I think this is going to be very dope. I think these battles are going to come out pretty dope. You know what I mean? I'm anxious to see, who's the victor in each one of these battles. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, who's going to come with that hunger.
They have, they also have judge ciphers. I guess they're going to also bring back the full element of ciphers, which is missing in battle rap. Because, you and I know, we've talked about it all the time, and V loves to laugh at this. There's battle rappers that just don't know the technicality of rapping, the art of rapping. So, we've missed ciphers in battle rap. I remember after Volume 1, when Chef Trez and New Jersey Twork were, in the parking lot, and they had a little cipher between the two of them. That shit was dope, because we don't see that that often between some of the younger generations. Then they had the Goonie cipher, and that shit was awesome. So I'm definitely missing that. I don't know how you're going to have a judge cipher. I guess you're just going to say who had the best verse, and there's cash prizes for it. First place, second place, third place, fourth place, fifth place. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be decent. You know what I mean? Just see who comes out with the best verse. You know what I mean? And who knows? I mean, maybe these guys will shoot at their opponents. You know what I mean? Cypher versions. So we'll see. We'll see. I think that's a dope concept. I feel like ciphers are definitely missing from battle rap because, in the early stages, we still got to see what these guys had outside of their battles, and that they had structure. You know what I mean, to their writing. In different ways outside of battle rap. Everything wasn't about approaching things from a battle standpoint.
Yeah, I agree, man.
It showed the versatility in their pens.
Yeah, man, because a lot of the battle rappers that we've grown to love over the last decade, they came from rapping in the streets. So, like, you can go back to so many famous ciphers, and you just think about, like, the Lions Den cipher, the Blue Collar ciphers, you know, the stuff outside in the streets in the Bronx, and the list goes on, and the We Go Hard cipher. There's so many, right, that you just, like, you fall in love with sometimes hearing the battle rapper exert their skills. So we also love to see them go to Funk Flex or iBars 95 because we just enjoy to see their ability off the stage sometimes, you know, especially if they're not putting out active music.
That's a fact.
And also the venue, apparently. I thought it was going to be a small venue, you know, I thought because this is in Toledo, Ohio, you know, it's in the middle of nowhere, right? And so I thought to myself, okay, this is probably a smaller league. They booked some good names, booked a good theme. So they booked a good theme so that everybody could kind of take the battle serious, which I assume that everybody's going to come here and give it 100% effort. There's money on the line, right? It's being judged. But the venue isn't small, apparently. Shouts to Champion again. They said the venue holds 600 people. This
Toledo coming to turn up.
This venue's going to hold more than the RBE venue that we were just in last week. This is crazy.
Yeah. Okay, Toledo, we see y'all. You know what I mean? Shout out to Toledo, Ohio. You know what I mean? And the battle rap and rap scene out there itself.
Big facts. Big facts. Let's talk about it, man. Let's crack this playbook open for Mr. Mills and Payne. And man, I got a lot to say about Mr. Mills, but where's your direction going in this battle?
Mr. Mills definitely, he has star power that he hasn't tapped into. You know what I mean? I think that kind of like holds him back. And maybe this could be the battle that, you know what I mean, he shows that or whatever. But Mills is like, you know, one of my low-key favorites. You know what I mean?
He's vastly underrated, man.
Yeah, he's really, really underrated as far as like guys that are like, I don't even know how to say like, you know, what tier Mr. Mills is in because he's been around for a minute. You know what I mean? He's definitely beat some credible names. You know what I mean? So I think his strategy with this is to be going in there to show and prove, especially like with who the judges are, you know, to try to set himself up for a bigger plate. You know what I mean? That's not to slight anything away from Payne or whatnot. I think Payne's got to go in there with the same, you know, attitude and just like, you know, go in there with an approach that he doesn't care that Mr. Mills is a known battle rapper or whatever. You got to go in there with the mind state to take his head off, you know, because this is a big opportunity, you know. So at the end of the day, there's no telling what can happen from this battle, whether, you know, he wins or loses. He goes in there and does a good job and performs well with, you know, the three judges that are on the card and Black, Jazz, and Tech. You know what I mean? You never know what type of phone call he make. So I would advise Mr. Mills, you know, like, be sharp on his punches, you know what I mean, and his aggression and all of that, you know what I mean? Whether he has to do something new, you know what I mean? That's to be determined. But, I mean, Mr. Mills has a strategy, you know what I mean, that kind of works for him. But I definitely want to see him take it to another level. And hopefully this will be a battle, you know, we start to see that.
Man, he has so many battles in his career at this point, right? He's about 40-plus battles in. And after a certain point, like, you just don't know if they're going to click that gear or get that second wind because of all the experience. But Mr. Mills' resume is there. It's stacked. Like, he's battled some of the quote-unquote best pens, some of the best punchers. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and, you know, they say he peaked in 2015 against Big Cannon, right? Because that was probably one of his best performances to date. And then he comes back around and has the JC performance where he took the first round and was in control of the battle. Obviously, JC is a veteran and oversaw all that, and he rise to adversity. But Mr. Mills beat Marv 1. You know, he was in control against JC, had a great battle against Big Cannon. You know, spar with Young Cannon for a one-rounder, spar with Verb. He has the names on his belt, and he has the energy. He has the pen. Hey, I've never understood why he's never broken through. He battled Danny Myers a while back too, and Danny Myers gives him a lot of, you know, praise and credit because he knows that the talent and the writing level that Mr. Mills is at. Maybe it's the star power. Maybe it's the performance. I'm not sure what it is, but I think he's a complete package of things, honestly.
he has, a good, package of battle rapper qualities. It's got to be. Mr. Mills I start like breaking through his performances, 'cause I don't necessarily think I've seen like too many performances I didn't like from him, but I just feel like he needs that breakthrough performance. Hopefully, he can start here, and just elevate up from there. 'Cause, I mean, at this point, I don't want to see Mr. Mills do a PG. Like, he's been around too long, you know what I mean? So I want to see Mr. Mills come into this battle, like hungry, like with no rap, and treat this nigga like you ain't eat all day, and you know what I'm saying, and unless you kill this nigga, you cannot eat nothing until then. So, I'm more for Mr. Mills in this battle. You know what I mean? I've always been a fan of his.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say, like, it's easy to say Mills has the advantage here, but you know what's interesting, right? Because think about the names I just said, right? Young Cannon, JC, Marv One, Aver, Heartless, Danny Myers. All these guys battled Mr. Mills with the vision of seeing he has potential. And it's ironic that even though Mr. Mills never fully broke through, he's battling somebody else that has a potential. He's kind of like giving Payne the shot, because this is Payne's probably his biggest battle of his career to date, right? And Payne has a lot of the intangibles, and he has a great delivery. So like he can figure it out as far as like his battle career. He's been around for a while. He's been battling for a handful of years. But Mr. Mills has battled all these guys that like were his ultimate test. And I think he knows what to do. So it's going to be interesting for Mr. Mills to kind of have the switch on and say, well, now I'm giving him the test. Now I'm giving Payne the test, like how JC gave me the test, how Big Cannon gave me the test, how Marv Warner gave me the test, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
That's a beautiful thing in battle rap, right? When like the guy coming up eventually becomes the veteran for somebody new.
That's crazy. That's crazy, you know what I mean? It's just like a recycling, like a revolving door, you know what I mean, of everybody is giving each other a shot, you know what I mean, on the come up. And that's just how, battle rap stays relevant by, guys giving newer guys a shot who may not have been given a shot by, somebody else.
And I think with like guys like this, right, because a lot of the people that he battled, like he battled JC before, like when JC was off URL, right? And so I'm sure JC saw something in Mr. Mills lyrically. Danny Myers saw something in him lyrically. So like when you kind of you invest into these guys that are coming up to learn about their lyrical ability. So if I'm Mr. Mills and I crack open the playbook for him, I'll tell him, listen, just follow the same format you've been doing prior, but don't let up. Don't put your foot on the gas pedal just because you have more experience. Like that can also be a detriment to you, where it's like, okay, I know exactly what to do, so let me just do what I've done in the past, and I don't got to worry about nothing. No, Mr. Mills, you have to think to yourself, where was my mindset at when I was booked against these top names? Okay, cool. That's the mindset Payne is at. So you know where Payne is trying to come from. Payne is trying to bring that pain to you.
Right. And my advice for Payne would be like to not really like try to do too much, to stray away from what got him here. Because sometimes, when guys come into a big battle, they stray away from their style of what got them where they're at.
Big facts.
And sometimes it works, and sometimes it don't. Sometimes you have to, sometimes you don't have to. You know what I mean? And it's just up to, him to find a formula that fits, you know what I mean, pretty much changing up and sticking to, his guns. You got to find a correct balance between that. Payne could definitely take this battle. Like, this is an opportunity that, he may never see again. Name of Mr. Mills' caliber, he might never see again. Or he could do great in this battle. He can get more names of Mr. Mills' caliber and higher, So we'll see. We'll see how this battle turns out.
When I think of Mr. Mills' PG against R Streets, I personally thought that battle was for Mills to win, but that battle kind of like pushed R Streets up more. So like we left for R Streets for that battle instead of Mr. Mills, and like that kind of always like bothered me, where it's like, damn, like I need this guy back here. Like this guy knows what he's doing, and there's a lot of guys, right, that are like Mr. Mills, that have the fast pace, they have the good pen, they have the haymakers. They can freestyle if they want to. They're aggressive. They don't get thrown off. They have ring generalship, and they've done a PG, and they just haven't gotten the call back. Like imagine a Mr. Mills versus a Mac Myron.
Whew.
Right?
That'd be a good battle. That'd definitely be a good battle.
Where is Mac Myron, man? Like that's those are the things that like I ask myself. But like I'm looking forward to this a lot. I honestly think sleeper pick, dark horse, this might be the battle of the night, low key.
Oh, definitely. This definitely has potential to take away from the other two main events and be the battle of the night because both of them know what this means. 100,000%. So they're gonna go in there, with their mindset to be the best performer on the card. So the guys that are above them on the card need to be a little bit worried because they're coming to take the spotlight.
Big facts.
Collectively and individually.
Yeah, absolutely. I do look forward to what Payne brings to this. Like, I'm looking forward to this now to see what it looks like when Mr. Mills is in the position to be the more dominant guy, the favorite, the shot giver, and what Payne does with this opportunity. So there's a little story. See, people forget there's little storylines in these battles. Like when you follow these guys' careers and see their moves, see their progression, or see their highlights and their low points, you realize there's little important moments. And you're like, wow, this battle actually means a lot more than you would think.
Right. I mean, I first saw Mr. Mills battling people in a Facebook group. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I started seeing them on YouTube. You know what I mean? So that's how far I go back from being a fan of his. But at the same time, I think Payne definitely could take advantage of this opportunity and make a name for himself and pretty much put Toledo on the map as well.
I think the first time I see Mr. Mills, he battled on... I know it wasn't his first battle, but I think he battled on Street Status early, like 2013. And I think a couple of times before that, he probably battled on Spit That Heat. But that's when I first got acclimated with him. And then when he battled Danny, I started to pay attention to him. I was like, okay, cool. Because Danny's been around forever, but he just broke through in 2013 to the internet. But he's been around, so like you would know who he was. And you pay attention to these things. When you get these names, that's when you start to get paid. That's when people start to pay attention to your resume. Like, oh, okay, cool. He got this name. Where does he go from here? You'll probably take a couple other names to spar with. Then you'll get another big opportunity, and then we start to track your growth from opportunity to opportunity. And even though I thought Mr. Mills lost a lot of his big battles, he showed up. He gave 110%. So
yeah, I don't think he's never not shown up. You know what I mean, and gave it his all. You know what I mean? That's one thing I can definitely say about him.
Big facts, man. Big facts. Now, the second headline on the card, Bourne and Chilla Jones. You know what, man? I have a very outlandish pick for this. You might highly disagree with me. So, I'm going to crack open this playbook for I'm going to start it up, actually. I'm going to start it off. But no matter let you start it up, I'm going to start this one up. I think... All right, check this out, right? Look at Bourne's resume against, like, writer guys, right? Like, people we want to classify as pen battlers, right? B Magic, that's the most recent one. He choked in it. He battled Danger Zone way back, and they created a great battle. This is when Danger Zone was still Big Boy Danger Zone, 2013, before he battled Goods and Mickey Fax. Bourne battled JC in Chicago, and he didn't look too good. Bourne battled Oops in RBE, right? And I thought he edged Oops, but he was in a biased crowd, and this is Bourne where he's constantly looking for validation from the crowd. He's battled QP on Black Ice. So he's battled all the writer block guys, and he's a great writer himself. And he just hasn't, I guess, had that moment against these guys, right? Like, he's choked, he's looked bad, the crowd's turned on him, etc., etc. So I'm waiting. I think there's a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. It's like, yo, this is another writer's block guy. I'm not gonna let Chilla Jones add himself to the list. Especially that Chilla Jones probably feels like he's the best one out of all the guys I've battled.
Facts.
I think Chilla Jones slightly sleeping on Bourne. Slightly.
He could be, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I mean, Chilla's another killer, you know what I'm saying? Like, that makes sure that you're dead when he kills you. Remember how I compared JC Iron, as killers? You know what I mean? I told you, like, Iron is a killer that's going to chop you up and put your body in the he's going to put your body in the trunk and then chop you up and then feed you to the fishes. Killer. Chilla is pretty much like the same way, you know what I mean? He's going to be strategic about how he attacks you, Chilla stepped up his aggression. He straight to the point a lot faster. And, I mean, he definitely could be sleeping on Bourne, but, I mean, he can't. It would be ill-advised to sleep on Bourne. Period.
Yeah,
Because
I
Bourne
agree.
has a good pen.
Absolutely.
And Bourne just had a good performance against Joe at Survivor Series as well. Bourne versus Bricks was another battle that I liked.
Yeah, that's a pure punch battle right there too, and that was a good battle too. So Bourne is sparred with a lot of these guys, and I feel like they're all just classified as battlers, right? That are just lyrically great, but they don't translate well to like the stage or the crowd, whatever. Throw that shit in the garbage right now because you're in a new environment where people want to hear what you have to say. You're battling Chilla Jones, debatably one of the best pens in battle rap. And do I think Chilla Jones has a better pen than Bourne? Yeah, but do I think Bourne is more electric and a better puncher? I think so. And remember, this is a judge battle, so who's gonna have the bigger impression? Who's gonna have the bigger? Who's gonna impose their will more on the spot? Bourne. He has all the advantages because Chilla Jones is somebody you're not gonna beat on camera, but you can beat in the building as long as you turn the crowd against them and you're exciting.
Yeah, but Chilla is also, figured his style out to where though he doesn't always go for the on-camera kill. Like, Chilla has a way of, simplifying his stuff and you can catch it right then and there as well. You know what I mean? And even if you catch something and you might catch one piece of a bar, you know how Chilla is. Like, he'll put a scheme together to where as though it's a bar inside of a bar. It could be like 2 bars or 3 bars inside of one. You understand what I'm saying? And
Thanks.
Bourne's got to worry about that because Chilla doesn't just, use any old bars. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's going to put bars inside of bars, then the bar that, you identify with immediately is going to hit. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be impactful. On top of the fact that, people are going to come back and hear the bars later. But at the same time, this is a judge battle, and it's right there in the moment, when it has to be decided upon. And so at the end of the day, Chilla cannot sleep on Bourne whatsoever. He's got to go in there with a direct approach to Bourne, and not write just general bars. And it's got to be instant gratification that he gives us, and right there on the spot, as opposed to just letting us catch it on camera. Because Bourne could be good on camera, and Bourne is also good in a cipher type environment as well. So we'll see. I mean, my advice to Bourne would be don't overthink it. This is a battle that Bourne has been wanting for years. He's been wanting to battle Chilla, So I'm wondering how much scheming is going to be done in this battle, because I would think that based off how much I heard Bourne call Chilla out, he wants to prove that he's a better schemer than him. And this is why I'm telling him not to overthink it, because that might not even be Chilla's approach. Chilla could come with a whole different approach.
I didn't think of that. And you know what? You said a really good word that I wanted to highlight: instant gratification. And I think Bourne. See, the only problem I have with Bourne, right? And I've told this to him in his face when he was on my show the day he came to the studio. I told him that sometimes you look for validation from the crowd,
right?
And he shouldn't look for that instant gratification right away all the time. And he's a veteran. He's been battling for about 10 years. He shouldn't even look for that anymore at this point. He knows that we all know he has bars. They're gonna land, or if they sleep on it, they're gonna catch it later. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? Chilla Jones, on the other hand, is somebody who's actually accepted that over time. He said, you know what, let them catch it later, but how can I electrify them now? So you're right, he has improved his performance over the last couple years, and I'm very happy about that with Chilla Jones. And as you point out, Chilla Jones might actually take a whole different approach. That's interesting. That's a good playbook right there, because Chilla Jones is probably wow, Bourne can be predictable and try to outright me, so what if I do something that he wouldn't expect to do? I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I mean, Chilla's had a lot of time off. I mean, I think I've only seen Chilla battle Ty Law and Iron this year.
Oh, nah, this year Chilla's been active, man. He battled on King of the Dot before Iron. He battled and chalked out. He battled overseas. He battled on Gully versus Gannick. He battled Chrome. He battled Nestle.
Oh, you're right.
Stewie Newton.
Right.
Boy, he been active this year.
Yeah. I got to catch up on some of those battles. Damn, Chilla. I follow you, Chilla. I don't see you tweet these battles out enough, Chilla, to know that you have this many damn battles. I only know about 2. Chilla Jones, what are you doing?
Yeah. He just had a battle drop recently against Ellipsis on King of the Dot, and I peeped the battle a while ago. I think that was in March, and it just like fell under the radar. And then Chilla Jones also battled out when Arsenal battled Hypnosis, and Cortez battled, and Danger Zone battled Jay the Nightwing. Like that card out in I think it was what state was it, man? I'm gonna go crazy here. It's in the Northwest. Damn. Damn, I lost it, man. I can't put a state to my head right now, but I remember the card.
The battle rap encyclopedia has been stumped.
I think Seattle, Washington. There we go.
I spoke too soon.
Yeah, he spoke too soon, man. Boom. It was in Seattle. Arsenal had a 1-rounder. This was right before he battled Hollow the Don. Cortez is on that card. Danger Zone's on that card. Chilla Jones, Stewie Newton. You know, they all had little 1-rounders. And Chilla Jones been active, so like I don't worry about his ring rust or his pen, or like if he's like oversaturating himself. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's getting himself into. But what I feel personally is that he'll probably think to himself, well, look at Newborn's resume. Every time Newborn's been in this exact same position where he's battled a top lyricist, a top pen guy, he's underdelivered, underperformed, or had the crowd turned against him. And I feel for Newborn, because those matches, like he takes those matches and he wants to prove himself. So that's why I think there's a special chip on his shoulder where, like, in Newborn's playbook, he's saying, yo, if I went 0-6 against Ryder guys, I'm not going 0-7. I'm gonna go 1-6. Like, I'm gonna get my one chip. You feel me? Jerry West went to the finals 9 times before he got his ring. All right? I mean, eight times. So you got to think about that. He lost 8 finals in a row, right? 0-8, and he gets his ring on his 9th final. That's resilience. So I think Newborn is still resilient. Like, he fights through the hate. He still writes. He still takes battles. He's still getting booked. So he takes all the criticism that comes with the game and doesn't let it stop him. And I think people do acknowledge how good he is. Just the intangibles are missing. And I think that's what people get frustrated. It's like, yo, you're so good. You've been battling for so long. Why don't you have the intangibles? I heard in the interview somebody say Newborn is conceited without the presence.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, the thing is just, he got to stop being so bothered by the crowd. Like, when they don't catch something he says or whatever. But he's got to just keep going. You know what I mean? If they don't catch it, then keep going. Because you got more shit. Like, you're so in-depth of a writer. That's why I say don't overthink this. Go in there with just intention to get straight to the point. And you got to probably build up a defense for it, because Chilla's going to attack your career mistakes. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's just really up to Bourne to go in there and win this battle. Everything is lined up for him to win this battle.
Damn, you know what's crazy? I was really confident in Bourne, but like after talking to you, you kind of threw some things at me that I'm like, damn, I might have to rewrite my playbook.
What you think? What you thinking?
Well, because you pointed out, if Chilla Jones wants to take a whole different approach and not see, everybody knows Chilla for the writing, so you're gonna expect that from Chilla, and you're gonna expect Newborn to write his heart out. So Chilla Jones says, why don't I perform this battle? Why don't I do haymakers this battle? Why don't I let him scheme the whole round, look silly, and I do something completely different? So now nobody's comparing and contrasting the bars. They're looking at something completely different, and now people will be moved by a Chilla Jones doing something different, to the point where it's like, wow, we didn't expect this. This is different. He strategized. And plus, when you said personals, Chilla Jones has the advantage with personals, obviously.
Definitely. Shoot.
Damn.
I've seen Newborn fighting on YouTube, so I mean, Chilla can use that too.
Damn, man.
I mean, Bourne won that fight, by the way, but still, he can use it.
Wow, man. I've never had I think it's the first playbook we've ever done where, like, in the mid of listening to somebody else's playbook, I had to scratch out my drawing board and rewrite my play.
I mean, I think Bourne needs to take advantage of this opportunity, because this is a battle that he's wanted for so long. And I hate when Bourne gets the battles that he wants for so long, and then he doesn't do the best that he could do in it. That's why I'm hoping, like, he really is not put too much thought into it. Like, I have to do this, I have to do that. He just got to go in there and be himself and just come in there with a game plan of some sort. Just don't think about just attacking Chilla for scheming and drawing his schemes out and being boring, because Chilla's added so much to his repertoire, since people have, started making those claims. I mean, Chilla's very, very dangerous. You cannot play with Chilla because you can think he's going to attack you one way and he attacks you another way.
If I think of Bourne, right? Like I personally would tell him, like, yo, you could perform better. You have better performance. Well, I mean, not proven, because Chilla Jones has been on bigger stages, but you can be a better performer, or at least more electric than Chilla Jones. And I would say cut the scheming to a minimum, where, like, you don't make a long, drawn-out scheme about, the Lakers roster. When Alonzo Ball, you're going to get your Josh Hart. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no need. I don't need a whole long-out scheme of a list of items. I'd rather you condense it very briefly, condense it very briefly to the point where it's like, it has nothing but punchlines in the mix of it all. So, like, there's no waste, there's no filler, there's no time in between. Right. I think that's Newborn's biggest strength, if he doesn't give Chilla Jones any time in between. Because we know Chilla Jones has to set up. Even if Chilla Jones is not scheming and wants to be more direct, he sets up. And we're okay with Chilla Jones setting up. We let him do that because of his cadence. We know what he's going to bring. We know if the line isn't it's not going to move us at the moment, it's going to move us later. So we allow Chilla Jones to wind up. Newborn Newborn should cut that off. Like, cut all that ring space off and say, listen, I'm going to be back to back to back to back to back, to the point where it's like your regular setup is taking too long because I've thrown so many punches at you. I think you should go punch heavy over scheme heavy.
Right. I mean, he definitely has to counter right for Chilla, and be all up in Chilla's face, you know what I'm saying? Because Chilla's already going to feel like he has the game plan for Bourne, and don't come out rapping your typical way. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the typical way that Bourne raps, but you come with something different, it's kind of like you can offset what Chilla's going to say about you. You know what I mean?
You know what's a good counter writing that Bourne could do? It's a risk. It's a big risk. But obviously, we know Chilla Jones is going to come with some Bourne name flips. Like, we know that. And I was worried that Chilla Jones would do name flips to death, which is kind of why I feel like, okay, Bourne has an advantage, because maybe Chilla might do this a little too much. If Bourne flips his own name one time in the battle, like he does a name flip on himself, and it's really fire. So that way, if Chilla Jones does 3 or 4 name flips, but they're not as good as Bourne's own name flips, it throws it off.
That's a good point. Yeah, I never even thought about that.
Yo, listen, man, this is a dope battle. I think this card is fire. We already have 2 matches that we're in love with already.
Right. I don't know, man. I mean, this really can go either way. Bourne definitely can take this battle, and Chilla can definitely take this battle. I'm kind of leaning towards Chilla, based off the fact that if I'm comparing.
Well, goddamn, you said so many great things about Chilla. I would assume that your playbook's for Chilla.
I'm saying great things about Bourne too. It's just I have more to go off with Chilla because more so I've seen him evolve more than Bourne has throughout his career. Well, I mean, not saying that Bourne can't take this battle or Bourne isn't a dope lyricist. I just think sometimes especially when you get these matches that he's been waiting for, he doesn't live up to the expectations of what we'll think that Bourne has been calling somebody out for so long, and then when we get the material, it's not up to par with why we feel like, all right, you waited this long to call this guy out, and then you finally get him, and you don't deliver. That's what I don't want to happen here. I want Bourne to deliver, and do what he has to do, and try to pull off the upset here. I would love to see Bourne pull off the upset, but if I got to go with what my mind is telling me, now, I have to go with Chilla.
Nah, that is correct, though. Bourne is definitely underdog, and Bourne winning clearly would be an upset. But I'm not going to lie to you. I think if you take away the judge factor of this match, my decision does change, because the judge factor leads to a different pace of battling, right? Because you have to battle for the spot. Like, yeah, you could battle online, and even if you lose in the building, somebody's going to make a case for you on the internet. Like, somebody's going to say the judges robbed you, whatever. That's fine. We don't care about that. If it's judged, it's called there, and that's the stamp, and it's over. So because you're battling there, you have to appease to the crowd. You have to change your pacing, and you have to kind of be a little more rapid with your round structure. So I feel like Bourne can condense his rounds and punch faster than Chilla because Chilla has to set up. So that's why I just think
I know, but at the same time, it's like Chilla's been writing for Drop the Mic or whatever, so he knows about, writing lines that, have to connect right then and there on the spot. So I think he probably is going to take that into his battling career as well. And Chilla can write those type of lines. He doesn't always have to be complicated and scheming and drawing up.
Yeah, big facts, man. I look forward to it. Hopefully, Newborn doesn't, the data says Newborn should lose his battle. It is what it is. The data says, if we're just gonna go by the data of writer's block and pure writers and the pen guys, Newborn has struck out. But I think this is his time to finally prove it wrong and shift the dimensions of that stat. Trends have to break eventually.
They do. We just saw that this weekend.
Big facts.
But
the headliner.
We'll see.
So the headliner of the card, man, Danger Zone versus New Jersey Twork. I'll let you start it off, man, because I think this is a really good match as well. But there's a lot to talk about in between it.
This is a really good match because for their pins. I mean, when I first started seeing Twork, I definitely, had in my head, like, this is somebody I want to see Danger Zone battle. It'd be interesting to see their pins match up against one another and, see who comes out the victor.
Big facts.
Danger Zone, man. At one time, he was like a dangerous battle rapper in the game. You know what I mean? Then he had one damn performance, that kind of, like, knocked him down or whatever. I think that DNA performance he had after he came off probably like one of the best years in battle rap a person can have.
Yeah.
And then he starts the year off with that DNA performance. That was on that. What was that? Black Ice, right?
Yeah. He also lost to Big T that same year, and that was a pretty bad loss too.
Yeah. So, it took him a while to get back to, to, I'm not even saying lyrically, but just to get back into, people's favor, whereas though people were excited about seeing him again, because he wasn't like getting the big looks anymore after, taking those losses. So this is going to be a very, very interesting battle. I mean, and even after taking those losses and seeing Danger Zone in the ring again, he still is very dangerous. Very, very dangerous, man. So that's somebody you want to play with.
Well, you got to think to yourself, right? Before we had a Champion of the Year, when people were giving out these notions of being a Battler of the Year, the first person that we officially gave that stamp to was Danger Zone. Danger Zone in 2013, right, when he battled Bourne, Young Cannon, he was on Seven City Sharks, he was on UFF against Ill Will, got knocked out there. He battled Mickey Fax, and he showed Mickey Fax there was levels, but then he battled Goods. He ran into Goods, and that's where he kind of like seen the biggest skill gap. Where like that was one of the battles where we learned that lyricism can easily be beat in a battle by all the other qualities. And I think Danger Zone learned that, and moving forward from there, he thought to himself, okay, how can I have the pen, I have the bars, how can I improve? And so in between that, 2014, he literally just kept taking battles just to like push himself against guys that have performed, that have been on bigger stages already. He battled JC, right? Then he battled M City. He battled Cortez, KG. And then he gets to his breakout year, 2015, where he was the Battler of the Year. Oh my God, 2015 was an incredible year. I don't even remember, he had an interview with Hip Hop Is Real where he was like, don't call me no more for $1,000 battles. Like, the price has gone up. In 2015, man, he battled Verb, Gaddafi Green, he battled Lotta Zay, Daylight. The first Traffic ever. He battled Danny. He beat B Magic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, you got to think about the names he's beating. And he beat a B Magic in his prime. B Magic coming off the 2014 year, that was a tough B Magic. Danny Myers at home. Yeah. Danny Myers at home. Daylight at home. These are Lotta Zay is up there with the pen as well. this is a Verb after the Goods battle, so Verb is still very high up. So Danja Zone, his stock is very well right before 2016. This is Battle of the Year for a reason. I think he hasn't fully gotten back to that level, right? But do you remember that 3-way battle, the Quiet Room 3-way battles, where it was Danja Zone, Craig Lamar, and Excel?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yo, when I saw that battle, I just, this might sound weird, right? I just stopped and stared at Danja Zone in amazement. I'm like, wow, I'm seeing his career.
His part's back.
Yeah. I'm literally witnessing his career transition and grow. Like, every battler has that turning point, right? They have that one battle where they learn, and they have that one battle where they figure it out. They click the switch. Boom. They click the switch, and then they know what to do from here on out. And that was in the 2015 run. So and his pen is up there too, man. Like, so I think he has a better pen than Twork. It's just Twork is more electric. So obviously, Twork hasn't beat on presence, star power, and performance, but Danja Zone hasn't beat on lyricism.
Right.
Now we get to the weird part, right? The recent activities.
Jerzey.
Yes, the recent activities where New Jersey Twork had a battle last week where he choked and used his material against DNA in like a 1-round battle. The week before that, he battled.
Wait. You say he uses material against DNA?
Yeah, that's what's floating around the internet with the battle, and the clips is out that he choked and he used some of his bars from the DNA battle. That's crazy, right?
Wow.
And it hurts to see this because, like, damn, you're kind of hurting your legacy right now. Like, you know, oversaturating yourself. He battled Summer Madness 7.
I saw that he choked. But you know, I didn't click on it. I've just been rare breezed out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And, you know, the week before Summer Madness, he choked, 2 rounds against DNA. The week before that, he had the 2-on-2, which was a good battle. But then he battled the week before that as well. So he's been battling probably 4 or 5 weeks in a row. And and from the Verb battle to now, it's just so different where Danny or where Twork is at, because the power rankings came out right after initiation when he didn't battle Danny Myers, and we had Twork up so high, and the power rankings are going to come out in the next 8-10 days, and I'm sure Twork's not going to be as high as he was before, and that's his own doing. Is Twork excited for Danja Zone? Like, that's the question we have to ask ourselves now. Is he motivated for him?
Is Twork excited for anybody? I mean, is this just a money grab? You know what I mean? But see, there's money on the line here, so you can't even say this is a money grab.
Danja Zone being a DMV guy and Twork repping the DMV, I think Twork has to have that respect for him alone right there.
Right.
So he can't.
But at the same time,
yeah, but at the same time, you worry.
Yeah, you definitely worry, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's just like, Twork turns up, you know what I mean, when he wants to. You know what I mean? And being still, I think Danja Zone is somebody that Twork respects. And when Twork respects his opponent, like, he gets in a different bag.
Yeah, that's very true. See, this is what I think about, like, the pen guys, right? Because it is what it is. Twork does have a pen. I don't think it's as good as Danja Zone. Right, people are gonna say, "Oh, it's better than Danja Zone's pen." Nah, this is what I think about pen guys, right? I think about your content and material, the way you structure it, and who you brought it against, and how the performances of it. Like, have you succeeded? Because Bourne has a great pen, but he's failed in a lot of his attempts. So can we call him a top lyricist? Rum Nitty is probably one of the best guys now, but people forget very early in Rum Nitty's career, he lost a lot of these guys. He lost to Magic, he lost to Red, he lost to Lotta Zay, he lost to Danja Zone. You know what I'm saying? Danja Zone is spar with the best. JC, B Magic, Cortez, Daylight, Danny Myers, Big T, Street Hymns. So Big Cannon and Danja Zone was a main event at the Writers Volume event at RB, and that was an incredible battle.
Yeah, I mean, these guys both have something in common. They both lost the DNA, but I think Zone has more material to go at Twork with in this battle. I mean, the worst Twork can say, well, you lost on UFF and you're not as big as me, this, that, and the third, you know, if he's going to downplay his career, if that's the angle he wants to take. But someone can also, you know, take the angle of you got all this talent and you're wasting it, you know, not taking this shit serious. You know what I mean? And I rep the DMV. I didn't do this shit for you to be coming up here repping the DMV the way you do. I mean, now all of a sudden, since Twork has, you know, gotten bigger notoriety, he just says Jerzey. Now he don't even say like he's part of the DMV movement no more.
Would Danja Zone be the first person to use that angle of Twork that you're not taking your legacy seriously?
He should.
He might just be. He might.
Like.
Yeah, he might.
I don't think nobody has even attacked him with that because
it's happened recently.
Yeah, as of recent, nobody has had the opportunity to because he took a lot of battles like on smaller leagues or whatever, and everybody he's faced on these bigger leagues, you know, the big names and whatnot, nobody has took advantage of the fact like, listen, you take all these battles on these smaller leagues when you could be saving yourself up, you know, for great performances and a bigger check on the bigger leagues if you negotiate right, but you hurting yourself by taking too many battles on these smaller leagues. I mean, even Danja Zone slowed down, you know, for a minute.
It's
you know what I mean? And he can
crazy.
really like give him that advice.
It's crazy you said that because, look, Twork's pen has been pushed. He's battled JC, he's battled Verb, and he's battled a new DNA that's improving on his writing. So his pen's been pushed, at least for that we can say, right? But it has
Cortez as well.
Yep. But that was Cortez for Summer Madness, so I think Cortez is more performance heavy than lyrical. But that's another.
But Cortez definitely has a pen though.
Yeah, of course. But that's another conversation. But so Twork's pen's been pushed, but Twork's weakness is angles, and Danja Zone has the opportunity to be the first guy to use the angle of how you're not taking your legacy seriously on all these smaller leagues and you're oversaturating yourself to Twork. And check this out. If I crack open my playbook for Danja Zone, I'm going to say use that angle and reflect it on yourself. Say how you use Danja Zone used the smaller leagues to hone his craft. He respected the culture, and he battled, and he got the big names on these smaller leagues, right? And took advantage of his opportunities, while Twork is the big name going on all these smaller leagues and just taking away the opportunities from these up-and-coming talent. Because if Twork goes somewhere and he chokes, you're going to talk about Twork choking again versus the guy that he did really well against.
Right.
And that's a strong angle to use.
It definitely is. It's a great angle to use, and it could be very effective if written the right way. And I mean, this guy has a pen, so he can write that shit the right way.
Did we give out the game plan by mistake? Did we say too much?
We always do this. Every playbook, man. Every playbook we call something right, man. What did I tell y'all Verb's approach was going to be for Mook, and what did he do in the first round? Well, we was at RBE at Rare Breeds, and Verb was rapping his first round. Would I look at you and say, I told you, this is exactly what I told you he was going to do. We call this in a lot of playbooks, like, we call like a lot of guys' approaches in different playbooks. I think it's just a simple fact that we look at everything from all angles, you know, respectfully, with every MC as to, you know, what they can possibly do to win. Because as a coach, you know, I mean, we really look at this like coaches. And as a coach, you got to look at all aspects and all areas, you know, that in all situations that you can win in or whatever.
What's the playbook for Twork? Because we talked a lot about Danja Zone.
Playbook would be to offset what we just gave Danja Zone his playbook to be. Pretty much, okay, you come here and tell me I didn't take my career serious and my legacy serious. Okay, now I'm taking my legacy serious starting now, and I'm getting ready to whoop your ass. And from this point on, I'm not playing around no more. That's got to be Twork's playbook.
You know what's crazy? It might sound weird, right? But if Twork just gives you a full round without any mishaps, no stumbles, no getting angry at the crowd, you'll be amazed. Because remember, it's a one-round battle.
Right.
So they're gonna get straight to the point. That's why like the angle is really effective. But in a one-round battle, are you gonna angle for just one round? You know, I don't know if Danja Zone will do that.
I mean, I think it would be smart to do that. I mean, it definitely depends on the time limit as well, if he has enough time to do that. So I get what you're saying. Like, you don't think he'd do it. It's a one-round battle, this, and the third. But if you use your time wisely and effectively, it can work for you. We've seen people execute angles in the middle of a round after, burn somebody's life away and scheming somebody's life away, and then put an angle in the middle of a round and then jump back into barring and scheming somebody's life away. You can do that in one round, that battle rap.
This battle being one round is going to be a art display of round structure, because if Twork obviously finds a way to say, I'm going to express my lyricism. This is Twork's opportunity to do what a lot of battlers do sometimes, where they like talk about their career or they talk about moments in their life where they kind of just like throw it into the battle, give that little bit of human life form, right? That reality check of things. Like, when Twork battled Verb, he talked about like how his mom seen him do all these things and his life turned for the worse. Like, that was a real human side of Twork. We got a little window of his life. And right now he gives us a window of like, listen, the last couple of weeks I fucked up, but I'm here again. That can that easily will turn the fans to another dimension where it's like, okay, I'm paying attention. I want to hear what you have to say. Twork obviously knows that him just jumping around and screaming and throwing a good strap in, because his last couple were not good. Throwing a good strap in, boom, what happens? You can take Danger Zone out. So Danger Zone does have a really tough match, because he's stuck to say, all right, do I try to outright Twork? Do I bring the angle? Do I be the first person to angle Twork? And he could put him in a really tough position. This is gonna be a tough battle to judge if everybody comes at 100%. If Twork doesn't beat himself, this is a tough battle.
Definitely, 100,000%. And he can't go in there playing with no Danger Zone. And this battle's been booked for a minute. I've been seeing for quite a few weeks about this event, maybe since like early summer. You know what I mean? That I've been seeing, this event being promoted or whatnot. So hopefully he's already written for Danger Zone. I'm pretty sure Danger Zone is already written for Twork and is probably going over his Twork rounds, over the past few weeks and getting ready. So
yeah,
I would advise both of them not to go in there sleeping on one another. Danger Zone, don't think Twork is going to come in there and choke against you. I mean, that definitely could be an effective angle, but don't bet on it. You know what I mean? Don't think that he's not going to come in on 100% either, because this could be the battle that he comes in on 100%. Twork comes into a lot of battles on 100%, whether it's big league or small league. It's just, as of late, we've seen him not give his best, and I'm pretty sure, he knows that people are not satisfied with him at this point in time, especially, after he put out that interview that he, was in on Hip Hop Is Real. I'm pretty sure he knows, like, he's got to get back in people's good graces. And this could be the time where, he takes time and makes amends for that. Because all it takes is for Twork to be like, you know what, I should have said that, I messed up, and have one good performance, and everybody's going to forget about that entire interview. This could be the performance that does that.
Two things, right, that stand out to me. Well, three things that make Danger Zone's case really strong to beat Twork. One, when Danger Zone battles up-and-coming guys, he's giving them the shot, he hasn't lost yet. When he battles Street Hymns, he outrose Street Hymns. He battled Jay the Nightwing, he beat Jay the Nightwing. He battled King Ape, he beat King Ape. So, and in our streets too, obviously. So, Danger Zone takes these new guys and say, all right, I was once upon a time the guy getting the shot. Same thing we said about Mr. Mills and Payne. So, he says, I was once upon a time getting the shot. Now that I'm giving it, let's make this the hardest obstacle of this person's career. And if they persevere, they just go up from here, pretty much. Right? The second thing that I want to point out about Danger Zone is that he battled our streets on really short prep time. Really rushed. Like, that battle was like supposed to happen on Survivor Series Encore, but it got rushed up a handful of weeks to Born Legacy Supreme. So that probably affected his performance. So now that he has a one-round battle with ample time, I'm sure we're going to get a completely different Danger Zone. And three, I know for a fact Danger Zone knows how to adapt to environment and adapt to energy, because he battled Rum Nitty very early in Rum Nitty's URL career, and he was able to withstand all of Rum Nitty's energy easily. He went to Don't Flop right? And he battled in that crowd, home crowd, like he's in London. This is his first time. He just got his passport. He went to London, and he didn't let that crowd or that energy environment rattle him. So he knows how to adapt to a crowd, and he knows how to adapt to energy of a battler. So I don't think he's scared of Twork's big and 9 or Twork's jumping around or all this craziness. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I mean, Danger Zone has stood in front of some shit from some niggas before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
he might even flip the bigger 9. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I mean, Danger Zone could be funny. Danger Zone could freestyle. And
yes, he can freestyle. He can freestyle very well. Like Big Cannon was angry that Danger Zone rebutted him. Because Big Cannon wasn't expecting that. He was like, what the fuck? Like, I know you can freestyle, but the fuck?
Right. So, I mean, he got to use all his intangibles to the best of his abilities and go in there with a mind state like, I'm going to kill New Jersey. You know, I'm pretty sure he knows, how people look at New Jersey Twork. You know, and how heralded he is like, a savior of the new class MC. So he's going to go in there with all intention to take him out. Whether, it's a 1-round battle, he's got to treat this like it's a 3-round battle. Not as far as like, writing like his round long enough to be long enough for a 3-round battle, but hopefully he's got the motivation to go into this like a 3-round battle. Now with Twork, it's just like you said, like clean performance, intercepting, and he'll be good. But both of these guys, I think Danger Zone is going to be more direct.
Can I ask you a curveball question?
Go ahead.
Danger Zone's the vet, right? More experience. I think the better lyricist. But Twork is the ticket seller. He's right now the more popular, hotter name. Who's giving who the battle? Who's the draw here? Who's the A side? Who's the B side? Who's the favorite? Who's the underdog?
At this point in time,
you have to say Danger because Twork is choking. Because Twork is choking. But if you take that away, is Danger still the A side?
I wouldn't say Twork is giving Danger Zone a shot. I mean, Danger.
No, of course not. Of course not. But like Twork is. You're
saying like who's the bigger name?
No. Who's the bigger name? But it's like when you look at the card, who do you think gets the instant gratification where everybody says, "Oh, this is the name I'm going towards"? I don't think it's Danger Zone.
I was getting ready to say, like, is that really a trick question? You know what I mean? We know who everybody's going towards. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure like that has to bother Danger Zone too. So you have to take that into mind. And you know what I mean, you're pretty pissed off about that. I mean, Danger Zone is not coming in there to play with New Jersey Twork at all. You know what I mean? So Twork better prepare for that because Danger Zone is not coming to lose this battle. He's not coming to have a debatable. He is coming for a body.
I got Danger Zone in this battle. I think the playbook suits him better where he says to himself, let me angle and bar him to death. And Twork, all he has to do is really... Twork's playbook is interesting because if Twork gets personal, which we don't really see him do too often, if he gets personal and he's electric and performs well, he can overshadow Danger Zone. So each of these guys can kind of wash each other out. One's the better lyricist, one's the better performer. It's just about who brings what that day.
Right, that's
but I like Danger Zone's opportunity a little bit more in his battle.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Danger Zone based off the fact that New Jersey Twork is giving him a laundry list of things to say. You know what I mean? You don't give a guy that's a writer like ammunition, and then like I said, I've seen this like announced and promoted over the course of the summer. You don't give somebody who's got a pen that much time to write stuff. Like, don't give them nothing to add on to already because Twork has made some mistakes in his battle career since this battle has been announced. You know what I mean? And they were locked in before we even knew of the battles. You understand what I'm saying? So while everything was going on, all Danger Zone was doing was sitting back writing for Twork. Oh, you just choked in Summer Madness? Okay, I'm going to write that down. Why did you just choke in a 1-round in Philly? What? Okay, I'm writing that down.
And you got to think, somebody like Danger Zone has never even been on a Summer Madness. Never even been on a normal.
I mean, I would like to see Danger Zone take this battle and jump back into his
2015 bag.
Right. I like to see him get back up to that status because he has the talent level. You know, I don't know what happened, or where as though like he kind of had like somewhat of a fall from where he started. Like his material too much suffered and nothing like that. He just stopped getting the big looks after the DNA battle for some reason. You know how somebody can make a battle just look different, and it can be like they're not like doing worse. You know what I'm saying? Than they were before. You know, they battled somebody. You know, their material's still good and everything, but that battle made you look at this person in a different light. And I'm not saying that's how I'm thinking per se, because I still watch Danja, but he's not as popular as he once, you know, had risen up to be. You know, Americans love a comeback story. So this is Danja Zone's time to create a comeback story. And he got to start with the hottest new guy. I want to see how everything goes. I really want to see how Mr. Mills and Payne comes out. That's the battle I'm most excited about, despite all the big names and all that.
Honestly, I'm really excited for Mr. Mills and Payne as well. I think that I said earlier that might be my battle of the night. Very briefly too, to talk about some of the guys in the undercard, bro. You got A. Dot versus Showcase, Spence J versus Jay Burner, Ice Cold versus AQ, and to be honest, man, I think out of all 6 of these guys, the person that has the best opportunity right now for a career is probably Ice Cold, because he has about 10 battles, maybe 11. He just recently battled at the Ground Zero event for Mass 4. Eddie I hosted the battle, and he's had 2 GZs already. So I think, and since he's younger in his career, he's been battling since 2016, I believe, about 2 years in. He has an opportunity still to have that moment. Everybody else on the undercard, they've been battling for 5 years. They've had 20+ battles. So it's getting to their engine. It has to be coming close to an end soon. Where it's like when you're those up and coming battlers with 20+ battles over like a long period of time, your moment is either bound to come very soon or you're not gonna have it at all. And the window is closing. You know, the window's closing for those guys. I think they probably have closed already. Ice Cold probably has the best window of opportunity here. But again, there's Jay Black's in the building, Tech Nine's in the building, Champion's in the building. It's going to be live stream, and you have good guys headlining the card. There'll be some eyeballs there. So I think if the undercard delivers, or any of these guys have a stand-up performance, we will want to hear from them again.
That's a fact.
Let me ask you, man. Do you not to sound pessimistic or anything, not to sound negative, how much are we trusting Tech Nine as a judge when he said in the past when he said in the past New Jersey Twork is his favorite battle rapper, so you guys kind of already know coming into it, like, okay, he does have people that he prefers more than others. Not saying that he's biased, but that now that people have that expectation, like, okay, well, I know what Tech Nine's been saying. I've been following him. His opinion's out there that often. How much of a judge do you think people will like? Do you think people trust it?
All right. Well, I'll say this: New Jersey Twork is not Tech Nine's favorite battle rapper.
Even though he says it, even though he says he is, you think it's Mook?
Murder Mook is Tech Nine's favorite battle rapper. We have seen that. Over the course of the past 4 days. If Danja Zone goes in there and is undeniable, I mean, you cannot like deny somebody like greatness. Period. I mean, especially like in a judge battle when you got your other 2 judges, you can vote for that person all you want based off of the fact that you're not. I'm not even saying, but there's anybody who goes into a system bias. Like, you can vote for that person all you want, but if there's other judges there, you know what I'm saying, that can offset your pick. So,
I do think they have a little bit of pressure because, I mean, every battle's different, so I'm not gonna overly bash Tech Nine for his Mook opinion, for his this opinion, for his that opinion. Every single battle is different, every event is different, so you approach things differently. But I think as of recently, the internet is kind of, the internet's turning against Tech Nine. It is what it is. The internet's angry at him. So I think them being in a position where they're judging these matches, this is a good opportunity for him to kind of like really get his glasses on, get in his analyst bag, make the proper decisions for all of these matches when they're going down, and people will be like, okay, you know what? Tech 9 called it right. You know, I do respect it. I do respect his opinion because you know, like I respect Tech 9's opinion. He's done great things in battle rap. He caught the first body in the first ever Summer Madness. You feel me? Like you have to. He's in the books. He's in the books of history. Jaz is in the history books as well. The most popular female battle rapper. So like, just because people are turning against them right now doesn't mean they don't have valid opinions. But I do think there is a microscope on them right now. That's what I wanted to point out.
Yeah, I mean, people are probably gonna be skeptical. And I mean, especially with what's going on now. I think Tech will be on his shit because I know, like, if he calls this wrong, the crowd is him.
Big facts,
I think Tech will be on point for this.
I think so too. I trust in it. And big shout outs to Champion because they're making moves. I look forward to the whole event, man. And this event's gonna come with winners. There's no need to recap, go back and forth. We're gonna have W's behind this. This is perfect.
Shout out to Jaz too. We seen her over the weekend. You know what I mean? At the Root.
Yeah, big facts, man. So, Bad Money, man, let the people know where they can find you, man. It's been a fun playbook. I had a feeling this playbook was going to be really fun.
Hey, man, we talked about that beforehand. Y'all can find me at Bad Money 29 on Twitter. You can follow me on YouTube at Bad Money. You cannot find my page on YouTube. I'm actually working on finding a way to come up with a more creative name that y'all will be able to find easier. Go to my Twitter page, and you can find a link in my profile or, like, you know, in my tweets that'll lead you to my my YouTube page, and go from there. I definitely drop a lot of content. Well, not even a lot, but I drop a healthy amount of content, and I drop a lot of content with these guys on Let's Talk Battle Rap. So y'all can find me here as well. They call me in when they need me. I'm coming.
I appreciate that, man. Appreciate your time as always, man. And everybody follow the show on Twitter, Instagram, LTBR Podcast. Thank you for listening. Give us a rate, like, subscribe. And until the next time, everybody, thank you. Peace.
Peace.
To save time, that's going to be where Keenum's going to try to work the ball on the boundary.
Keenum steps into it. Pass is caught.